in 16th position as we welcome you inside our studio. Tim Howard, Robbie Earle, Rebecca Lowe with you all Sunday, and Tottenham really is a massive story. The lowest they've ever finished in the Premier League is 15th. Right now, as you saw there, they're 16th. They do have Europa League on Thursday, quarterfinals, first leg against Frankfurt. Tim, do you think with Ange Postecoglou, the decision from Daniel Levy as to whether to keep him on or not has already been made, or does it all come down to Thursday?
Great question to start the morning. I mean, I don't think the decision has been made. I truly believe the discussions are being had. Absolutely. Does it come down to Thursday? Not necessarily, because we've seen other managers at Tottenham have decent cup runs, and that doesn't necessarily save them. Look, I think being 16th in the table speaks volumes. I think has he lost the faith of the fans? That's a turning point for me. And look, ultimately, and I've said all along, you cannot not change. You have to try and change at some point. And he's been really staunch on how he plays, and it's backfired on him. And what I would say to that is top players enjoy the challenge. They enjoy the challenge of being flexible and trying new things and being put in different positions in different formations. What it comes down to is trust. And right now, I don't believe the manager has the trust of the players, because if he can't say, we're gonna change things today, then that's a problem.
And Tim, just to go on that, in the week he talked about if he'd had his time again this season, he would have done things differently. Does that make him look weaker, that now he's admitting what everybody was asking him to do, and he's admitting he should have done it?
Yeah, that's the problem for me, because I think if you're strong enough and you're confident enough and you have the trust early on, then you do that. And so he's kind of admitting that he didn't have that.
In terms of the team news, which we will bring you very shortly, Tottenham against Southampton today, which is live on Peacock. Yeah. He hasn't made as many changes as maybe we would have thought if we think that it's all about Thursday. He still has a very strong front line in Son, in Brennan Johnson and in Dominic Solanke. Why do you think he hasn't made as many changes?
It's really interesting, Bex, when I look at the squad. It tells me that the Europa League is everything for Ange Postecoglou. If he wins that, Daniel Levy can't sack him. I
mean, he could, because we have seen managers
He could, but I just believe the
fired.
Europa League would probably keep him in the job.
For a few months at least.
Months. Yeah. But, and it is a big but, the Premier League position matters. I keep hearing, it's all about Europa League. Tottenham Hotspur, 16th in the league, Rebecca, have lost 16 games, are 2 points above Wolverhampton Wanderers, who just secured their place in the league yesterday, is not acceptable. This is a big six club, one of the elite, who are sitting down at the bottom of the table. And there's a couple of things that I look at. They've scored 55 goals. That's the hardest thing to do in football. That's more goals than Nottingham Forest, who sit third in the league. So they can do parts of the game, but there's these elements to this team. And I look at this squad backs, and there's a better team. There should be better performances coming out, and I know they've had the injuries, and I know that the players are returning, but this is not acceptable, whether you win the Europa League or not.
So if it's not acceptable whether you win the Europa League or not, how can the Europa League keep him in a job? Because
winning the trophies. We see what Eddie Howe did at Newcastle, what a trophy did. Spurs are in a similar situation. They haven't won a trophy for so long that it would give him a stay of execution, and he would get the start of next season.
So do you think that would be the right choice if they win the Europa League and they stick with Postecoglou?
I think you have to, if he does win, yes, I agree with you, it gives him some time. You have to give him the opportunity to change. He said in the week that he would have done that. I think, again, an internal review of how he's managed and offer him the opportunity to change, because he does have to change a little bit. So, yeah, I do think so.
Can they win the Europa League?
I don't think so. I don't think so because of the team also and the mentality of the football club. But he's got to hope they have backs. And just going back very quickly to one thing Tim talked about, trust. Trust is two-way. Does he trust the players? At some point, big players might say, do they trust the manager? And if he gets to that point, then he's in trouble.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, and as we head towards the end of an exciting Premier League season, make sure you like and subscribe on the NBC Sports YouTube channel for more content like this.